Thank you very much. I very much welcome today's exchange of views. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Placencia Pereira for her presentation, and also to thank the ITRE Committee for convening this important discussion during what is now our third Disability Rights Week. Across the European Union, over 100 million people live with some form of disability. As members of the European Parliament, we must remain committed to ensuring that all persons with disabilities can live independent lives and realise their full potential. As members of the ITRE Committee, we have a particular responsibility in that regard to ensure that we shape policies which determine persons with disabilities are empowered to participate fully and equally in our digital society, including through full participation in the digital single market. Today's exchange is also an opportunity to reflect on progress made under the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which has been ratified by the EU and all of its member states. The Convention remains a key framework for protecting and promoting the human rights of persons with disabilities. However, the optional protocol, which is of huge importance to actually giving teeth to the Convention so that persons can make complaints and bring deficiencies to the attention of the UN Committee, has not been ratified by all member states, nor has it been ratified by the Union itself, and I think this committee should call for that to happen. I would also like to take this opportunity to call upon the Irish Presidency to make that a priority, the pursuit of that as a priority of its presidency. Given Ireland's relative lateness, but nevertheless it is to be welcomed that Ireland has finally ratified the optional protocol. Looking at the European Disability Act, it is a landmark step. It's far from perfect, as our introductory speaker pointed out, but it is nevertheless a welcome step, given that we live through a time in which almost every aspect of our economy and increasingly our daily lives and society are going online and are digital. We shop online, manage finances online, organise our travel online, organise what we eat online, access media online, and access essential public services increasingly online. In this context, the European Disability Act represents a step forward, ensuring that accessibility is upheld in practice and not just in principle. By establishing a common EU-wide framework, the Act ensures that key products and services such as smartphones, ticketing and check-in machines, banking services and e-commerce platforms are designed accessibly. However, technical accessibility alone is not enough. Products that comply on paper but cannot connect seamlessly with assistive technologies still act as a barrier, still create exclusion. That is why interoperability is essential. It's welcome that the Act requires compatibility with assistive technologies such as screen readers. Without such interoperability, accessibility becomes patchy at best and dependent on the goodwill of individual providers rather than guaranteed by design. But legislation is only the first step. So in that regard, I suppose I would have a couple of questions, if it's an appropriate time for questions, and that is, should the Act perhaps go further? What is the deadline for transposition and implementation of the European Accessibility Act has passed earlier this year on the 28th of June 2025. Are you satisfied that it has been adequately transposed by Member States? Are you in communication with Member States regarding inadequate transposition? And how can we ensure that interoperability requirements keep pace with technological developments to ensure that assistive technologies continue to work seamlessly in order to ensure access to mainstream technologies as they evolve? And I suppose it is appropriate to recall, notwithstanding the fact that the optional protocol hasn't been ratified by the European Union, it is appropriate, I think, to recall the concerns voiced by the Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities with regard to the limited scope of the European Accessibility Act, which includes the built environment only as a voluntary clause. It doesn't cover fully the area of transport and doesn't cover essential products such as household appliances in particular. And also the delays in the transposition is something that's been criticised by the UN Committee. So thank you very much, Chair, and I look forward to the replies of our expert. Thank you.